Alright, so the Section B parallel sessions will be commenced with will begin with Sir Benjamin Labastin's paper on between agreement and disagreement, mediating conflicting perspectives on martial law in Mindanao. A hand for Sir Benji.
Good morning, everyone. This paper revisits how the various sectors of the society received the declaration of martial law in Mindanao. So the reception is expressed by three dominant perceptions regarding the martial law. The first one is the President's declaration of martial law in Mindanao is right. This perspective comes from those who totally support it. The President declaration of martial law in Mindanao is wrong. This view comes from those who totally defy it. And the third one is that the declaration of martial law in Mindanao is within the legal mandate of the President as it is provided for by the 1987 Constitution. So let me call the first view as the all-out support view, and the second as the all-out defiant view, and the third as the all-out legal view. This paper seeks to analyze the all-out support and the all-out defiant view, how to make sense of these perspectives. The first and second views are directly opposed against each other, and yet closer look reveals that they tell us about a common aspiration. And that aspiration is to live a humane and dignified life. Okay? And to support and clarify this claim, the paper invokes Paul Ricoeur's hermeneutics, his interpretive lens, to understand and clarify the first and second perspectives. So I will no longer read this part. 10 minutes na? 15?
10.
So the declaration of martial law in Mindanao has drawn mixed reactions from the public. No, there are those who outrightly support and defy it, while others advise the public to proceed with caution. The latter view was epitomized by Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno's speech at a graduation ceremony in the Ateneo de Manila University. In that speech, Chief Justice Sereno asked these questions, which are, she surmised, lurks behind the minds of the many. Will this martial law declaration bring back the human rights violations and depredations that characterized the martial law regime of 1972? Will investors leave the country? Will young people still have enough good jobs? Will our labor force and such questions? Okay, and of course, the Chief Justice did not give definite answers. She only said that it depends. It depends on the whole apparatus of government, the executive, the legislative, judiciary, the public attorney, the constitutional bodies, the ombudsman, the Commission on Human Rights, the Commission on Audit, and the society at large to fulfill the current policies of the government render the declaration of martial law dubious. All the more, people's vigilance is needed. Okay. Chief Justice Sereno's plea proceeds from a deliberate, careful, and reflective analysis of the event. As Chief Magistrate, it is expected from her. But hers is just one of the voices competing in the market of public opinion. With social media, people's voices, those voices which traditionally reside in the periphery, interrupt the discourses in the traditional media, like newspapers, televisions, and radios, as expressed by public officials, experts, and academicians. These voices, those scattered, send signals to policymakers and implementers about the raw and unpolished state of public opinion. The all-out support and all-out defiant views mostly come from this. So by May 24, a day after the declaration of martial law, ang Rappler filled the netizen sentiments as expressed by their tweets and posts in social media. So by May 24, kita nimo sa mga tweets and posts sa social media, the all-out defiant and all-out support view of the martial law. For example, ang all-out support said that martial law was made for situations like this. Let's just hope that this declaration will help diminish the situation in Marawi. The other one is that please lang, martial law is not a bad thing. No? This is a time of crisis. The other one is that katong all-out defiant, Duterte's brand of justice, vigilante justice, his rule of law, martial law, is a signature away from becoming a full-fledged dictatorship. Or the other ones that martial law was a very traumatic to my mom and her entire clan the last time it happened. No? This will bring back bad memories. Okay, so I will no longer read any other tweets and posts. So based from the above, those who support the President's decision reason that the declaration of martial law is an indispensable intervention to resolve the crisis in Marawi and secure the civilian population from the terrorism of the Maote group. This sentiment is shared at least by those who have affinity with the population in Marawi who were directly or indirectly affected by the terroristic acts of the Maote group. They wanted the government to once and for all restrain, if not suppress, the Maote. Those who are against the martial law claim that the president is becoming a dictator, that martial law does not address public interest, and that it only scares the people and brings back the trauma and horrors of the Marcos era. For some, the declaration or to declare the entire Mindanao under martial law is uncalled for. The president has committed a fallacy of composition. So the all-out support and all-out defiant positions do not think about the legality of the decision, rather of the president's decision. Rather, their positions are defined by their personal convictions. Of course, there are also some who view the declaration of martial law based on their political ideologies. And I think this view wanted to amplify their political differences and perhaps to cause not only harm against each other but to cause further rift in the public. Katuning mga comments like, you are against martial law, you are a yellow tard, and you're pro-martial law, you are a Duterte. So, in that sense, they are politicizing. They're trying to view the martial law from their ideological political inclinations. I will no longer read that part. Of course, I will no longer read the all-out legal perspective. Of course, the all-out legal perspective was, I think, expressed brilliantly by the former Chief Justice Panganiban in his article sa Inquirer. So the question is, but how do we make sense of these different perspectives, the all-out legal and the all-out support and the all-out and defiant perspective? So more than an expression of support or negation, I think they are telling us about something, an aspiration of the people to live a humane and dignified life. Okay, so as I said, I will clarify this point using Ricoeur's hermeneutics. Kamay lang nga part sa hermeneutics ni Ricoeur, which I think very important. So Ricoeur said, and I quote, "Whenever I understand others, the more I understand myself." This statement is one of the basic tenets of Ricoeur's hermeneutics. I take Ricoeur's hermeneutics as akin to the Platonic man who is able to make a four-circle journey from going out in the cave to arriving at the world of ideas, to returning back to the cave to liberate other individuals. In Ricoeur, this has taken the cloak of whenever I seek to understand, I go out from myself to meet and confront those mediating signs which tell me who I am. When I understood them, I go back to myself, enlarge it, enrich it, and make it more meaningful. Ricoeur then, rather than confining hermeneutics to mere understanding of the text, is more concerned with how the text makes, demands, challenges, and changes the life of the reader. Rather than simply ask what does the text mean, he asks what does the text means to me. Rather than merely concerned with the acquisition of knowledge, hermeneutics is raised as a personal encounter between the reader and the text, where the reader does not just project her understanding of the text but opens herself to the proposed world conveyed by the text. In this encounter, Ricoeur hopes that the reader changes his present way of existing in the world. So cognizant about the modern world, characterized by plurality of worldviews and values, Ricoeur recognizes that we are living in a world where there is no singular where meaning is no singular. This is a world were to use a rarest word, no single vocabulary, and where insistence for the singular is to do violence to the other. Gone were the days of meta-narratives. Okay, so let's go to the analysis of various perceptions of martial law in Mindanao. Then, the declaration of martial law in Mindanao has been, of course, received by various sectors. Okay, let me now go to the. So the different perceptions about the declaration of martial law in Mindanao are in a way text, just as the declaration is a text, which is read and interpreted differently by a community of interpreters. But how are we to understand someone saying, I totally support martial law or totally defy martial law? My take on this matter is this: we are what we are, and we are immersed in the kind of world we have. And no matter what we do, what we say and think are colored by the kind of social milieu we have. And this, in short, this means that those who are affected or directly or indirectly by the terroristic acts of the Maote group will naturally wish for their total annihilation. To aspire thus incline them to support martial law. I think this aspiration does not make them irrational or naive. In the same manner, those who are critical of martial law and understanding it through the prism of history and arguing that giving so much power to the military and the police might lead to abuses similar to the Marcos years is not totally unjustified. Those who have experienced the horrors of the Marcos years, they who toil for reinstatement of democracy, have all the reasons to be wary of martial law. No one can deny that they have suffered during the Marcos years, and there is no certainty that the horrors of the Marcos years will not happen again, especially to those who are suspected members of the terror group or to those who are suspected of supporting them. To criticize martial law does not mean supporting the Maote group. I believe that when critics stage protests and calls for the termination of martial law, they mean that there should be no innocent civil individual who will be made to suffer from the sins of others. I take it to mean that the military and the police should be prudent in dispensing the power given to them. In the same manner, for those who support martial law, I think they are saying that the government should do all that it can to free the people from the fear and horror of terrorism. I think they are saying that the government should secure the people, restore peace and order so that those who are affected can return to and continue their normal lives. I think there is no point in demeaning one another or reducing one's position to simply being a Duterte or yellow card. In the deepest of our being, we know what we want. Like others, we want to live a happy and dignified life. We want to live in a peaceful, just, and humane society. Beneath the semantic and syntactic structures of one's utterances is a proposed word. This is the ultimate challenge of recurse hermeneutics. If we are able to see it, Recur is hopeful that we will live an enriched and meaningful life. Beyond the statements I totally support or totally defy martial law, our aspirations totally not different from ours. If we can see through this, we can let other people express what they want to say without us necessarily agreeing or disagreeing with them. If we just let other people explain, perhaps our initial understanding will be reconfigured or transfigured. Often, we only understand the utterance, not what it means. We seek to clarify the meaning, we let people explain. We do not want them silenced. If our desire for agreement, in our desire for agreement, we impose to other people. Oftentimes, we mistake silence as agreement and okay? Sport. So in this time for history, sobriety is an imperative, but this does not mean that we should retreat our own den and say nothing about what is happening to our society. It is but right to take a stand, and we need to have a stand. But this does not mean, does not mean that we are licensed to hurt other people. To those who support martial law, of course, let us applaud them. To those who are against it, let us congratulate them. Perhaps it is because of their defiant stand and the implementers of martial law to the line. The most urgent thing today, which most of us want to hear, of course, the end of war in Marawi. And I think last Monday, the defense and military officials announced the termination of war in Marawi. Thank you so much.
this paper titled Between Agreement and Disagreement, Creating Conflicting Perspectives on Martial Law in Mindanao. This certificate is given to Sir Benjamin Lopez.